What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Double A have here. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that, and more. So this video, I wasn't even gonna make a video about it, but it just so happens that I made a video about the WNBA about a couple weeks ago, and then this happened. Now, obviously, Draymond Green is not the brightest bulb in the box, but he still tried to do his thing and or do his part and help the WNBA. But I'm sure some of y'all have been in a situation like this where you see somebody getting bullied or beat the fuck up, or somebody that's like kind of nerdy and they're being bullied and getting beat the fuck up, and then you're like, you know what, like I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna step in and stop this. You know what I mean? So then you go and you like, like, hey, cut that out, leave him alone or whatever. He's cool. And then the person that you're stepping up for and defending attacks you and says, "Oh, I could have did it on my own," or like, no. I don't want to be with the cool kids. I'm a nerd and I'm proud, or whatever the case may be, right? But I'm sure we've all been in a situation like that, whether it's has happened like that or maybe it's happened a different way, where you see something going on that you don't agree with, so then you say, I'm gonna step in and speak up, and then you do, and then that person turns on you. So that is pretty much what happened here with Draymond Green. And obviously, the sports networks are never going to spin it that way because they're all ultra fucking liberal, and they all freaking they all pray to the divine feminine. So they're never going to say anything against women or try to place accountability at the feet of women, unfortunately. But luckily for y'all, I got this channel, and I'm going to keep it straight 100. So if you haven't already heard what Draymond said, I'm about to play the video for you, and then obviously I'm gonna elaborate on things.
Headlines last week for comments he made in regard to the lack of support for women's sports. Take a listen.
I'm really tired of seeing them complain about
Me too, brother. I'm definitely tired of seeing them complain. All the damn time. They complain, but they don't put in the work and they don't generate the value that men do. Okay, it's very simple. This is literally economics 101. I learned this shit in high school.
lack of pay because they're doing themselves a disservice by just complaining. They're not laying out steps that they can take to change that. And so it's coming off as a complaint because the people that can change it, they're just going to continue to say, well, the revenue isn't there. The revenue isn't there. So
See, all right, so you understand that bad basic, Draymond. Yes, the revenue isn't there. And you know why they'll continue to say it? Because the revenue isn't there. If you want more money, you need more revenue. You need to generate more revenue. But they don't care about generating more revenue. That's the time that we live in. They don't give a fuck about generating more revenue. There's more money. Where the revenue is coming from in their mind? Oh, take money from LeBron James. Take money from the NBA players. Take money from Tyler Johnson. No. And that is literally pretty much what socialism is fucking about. And most of these fucking LGBTQ so-called or self-proclaimed Marxists, that's what the fuck they're trying to implement. Okay? So no, it's about what the fuck you create. That's what capitalism is about. You don't like the amount of money that you're making, you're going to have to generate more, and you might have to create a job or a new fucking workforce entirely. You might have to make a whole new business model, whatever the case may be. You can do that in capitalism, and if it's a hit, you'll be greatly fucking rewarded. Okay.
you don't bring in the revenue, we can't up your pay. They're going to keep using that. But the reality is,
It's none of this. Stop right there. See, and this is my issue with a lot of these fucking woke simp ass niggas. They're gonna keep using that. It's not using it. That is the reality. It's like if I go to the mechanic and he keeps saying, "Oh, you need an oil change. Oh, you need an oil change," and that's like me coming home and saying, he keeps trying to use the line that I need the oil change so that I have to pay him to change my oil. Like, no, nigga, you need a fucking oil change. That's the reality of it. Okay, you're not gonna get better fuel economy out of your damn car until you get an oil change or you get your tires filled to the right psi. You know what I mean? It's not just like they're using it. Revenue sharing is like, think of a fucking pie. The more revenue that's generated, the bigger the fucking pie. The bigger the pie, the bigger the slices that you can make. It's very simple.
as true as that is, it's an excuse because everyone says we support women.
How's it an excuse? Oh my god. Oh my god.
We support women empowerment. We support women in the workplace. We do this for women. We do.
I mean, if you look around, I'm pretty sure it's very evident that women are supported in the workplace and women are freaking empowered. They're empowered to their own detriment, is what I see. So I don't know where you're going with this. Almost said Umar. Draymond. It's like I said, it's pretty clear to me that these people are putting women out there. But look, at the end of the day, you can put them in these positions, you can exalt them, but if they want more money in a league that doesn't generate money, that's not on the men. It's not on the men. It's on that league. And I'm going to touch more about that league and why it doesn't generate money later on in this video, or maybe in part 2.
X for women, blah, blah, blah. And everyone uses it to their advantage. Yet these women are not using these people that are saying those very things to their advantage.
That's because they can't.
USWNT star Megan Rapinoe, obviously taking exception to these remarks, and in a recent press conference said the following, quote, "It's really unfortunate that in the position he's in, having all the resources that he has and the ability to have a much more educated opinion, that he just hasn't. Really frustrating. Obviously, he just kind of showed his whole ass and not understanding what we talk about the whole time. You don't think that we've asked for more investment? I mean, what are we screaming about nonstop?"
And this is that nerdy person that was getting beat up that you speak out for, turning around and attacking you. Look, woman, you got to understand something, Megan Rapinoe, who probably is part of the LGBTQ movement based off how you look. I could be wrong, but if I was a betting man, I'm betting you're gay as hell. Look, Megan, in this nation, in this great nation of ours, right, we have the big three. And I'm not talking about the Brooklyn Nets. I'm talking about NFL, MLB, basketball, in that order. So Draymond Green, I'm willing to bet more people know Draymond Green than know you. So the fact that Draymond Green is even speaking out, even though he is incorrect in his solutions, the fact that he is speaking out is helping you. But you tweeting this out or however you sent this message out just shows everyone that they shouldn't fucking give a fuck about y'all. I hope y'all. Because this nigga, not for nothing, is, like I said, trying to help you. And is doing so because he used his platform, which is much larger than yours, to speak about the issue that's going on. So he put it into the minds of people yet again. I don't know why, because this is not a conversation worth talking about. Now, I know the last video that I did was about the WNBA exclusively. Now, obviously, this one we're talking about women's sports as a whole. So obviously, this soccer player had said this about Draymond. Now I'm going to continue for a little bit.
Okay, so we have a lot to unpack here, and here to help us do so, we have ACC.
And obviously, look at the panel. Look at the panel. So y'all already know, and this is the issue nowadays. There's no fucking objectivity. Even on the sports debate show, There's no objectivity. You look at these women and you already know where they're gonna stand, what they're gonna say. Okay? And it's all bullshit. It's all that, girl power and all this bullshit. And I'm not knocking women. I'm knocking the silly shit that we have to deal with and that they subscribe to. They don't use their brain. They're being pawned and pimped out by the socialist leftist Marxist movement.
Network host, Monica McNutt, making her first Take debut. Lady, congratulations. Welcome to the show. It's Ladies Hour. So happy to have you. And obviously a lot to unpack here with these comments. So, Chanae, I want to start with you here. What's your reaction to Draymond's comments?
The only worst thing about being wrong is being loud and wrong.
So no. He's wrong, but he's not wrong for the reasons that y'all think that he's wrong, which is mind-boggling how delusional y'all could be.
Marshall is sort of learning that right now. The meme.
Hey,
right?
Brandon.
Accurate. But I've known. Hey, Brandon. It's all good, Brandon. You gave us a great meme, Brandon. Thank you. Now, I've known Draymond Green for a while. We both played on the World University Games team together for Team USA back when we were in college, which makes this all the more difficult because Day-Day, he's been on the show with us. He has the right relationships. He has the right people to look to really get answers. So let's set this straight.
Perrier, the original spark. I feel golden. I feel like glitter on my shoulders. I feel golden. I feel like, boldly refreshing since 1863.
Let's get to Draymond Green.
All right, so obviously that one with the all female panel. I remember what's the name? Chanae. I think her name is Chanae of Gumnia or something like that. She goes on for a while talking about like Team USA basketball shit like that before she even gets to talking about Draymond. And then the other two, again, like I said, you already know what they're gonna say. So I figured I'd just take it on to this part. Where they kind of go a little bit deeper and offer a little bit more perspective, barely. And then obviously I'll comment on this as well. And then I have another graphic that I want to show you.
Who has been the subject of controversy after his Twitter thread that wasn't actually a Twitter thread from March 27th, which in part, he blamed the women for making quote-unquote complaints rather than taking action over disparities in pay and investment in women's sports. Those comments drew the attention from the soccer world, where U.S. women's national team star Megan Rapinoe said that Draymond, quote, showed his whole ass in not even understanding the struggles of equal pay for women, and that it was unfortunate that an athlete in Green's position didn't have a more informed opinion. Green responded to Rapinoe and others.
A more informed opinion. It's very simple. It's economics. It's basic supply, demand, money flow, the goods and services, people's wants and needs. And, when you boil it all down, the value in women's sports is lower than the value of the male counterpart sports. It's that simple. A lot of these chicks want to go and blame the networks for not promoting it the same. Honestly, I can't watch a WNBA game or go to a WNBA game without seeing. Watch an NBA game or go to an NBA game without seeing commercials for the WNBA or seeing posters for WNBA players, or even at the games between the quarters and stuff like that. On the big screen, they'll have like these little ads or commercials or whatever you want to call it by WNBA players of that same city. So the NBA goes above and beyond to literally drag the WNBA along. They're getting support. Now, when it comes to other women's sports like soccer, again, if the revenue is there, the money is there. Because look, it's real simple. If the revenue is there and you're not getting paid for it like adequately, then you know what that means? That means that you, the players, have dropped the ball, because obviously you're not having these negotiations like the NBA. The NBA has a collective bargaining agreement where the NBA Players Association negotiates future earnings with the owners and the commission of the NBA. So every couple of years, they come up with a new deal, a new revenue split. So if the money's there, it's up to the players to get it. Now, if the soccer players want to say, well, the money's there based off of these charts, and statistics, but we're just not getting it, then hey, why aren't you holding these people accountable? I see that as a very open shut case. Every other sport pretty much does it. So why would you be the only ones out? So, obviously I didn't look up the soccer stats, but again, if the money was there, it'd be a much easier case to make. And I doubt that they would be clamoring for this to happen. So that leads me to believe that the money isn't there. And if the money isn't there, the money isn't there. What are you going to do to generate more money? Huh? Are you going to stop trying to walk around looking like a man and talking and acting like a man? Because that's not appealing? Huh? You have to have appeal. You have to have appeal. When a new movie comes out and they play the trailer on TV, like the commercial, if that trailer isn't fucking appealing to people, then a lot of people probably won't turn out to watch the movie. Okay? Unless the movie is backed by like a big company and a big name, like, oh, well, the trailer sucked, but hey, it's Star Wars, so I gotta go see it, or something like that. So what are these women willing to do to make their fucking leagues more appealing? And when you talk to them and you have these discussions, they're arrogant as hell and they're not willing to do anything or change anything. The WNBA doesn't want to lower the baskets. They're not willing to, stop walking around looking like men and acting like men. The soccer players, same thing. They're not willing to change anything. They want to be treated equal. But you have to understand something. There's no such thing as equal. I say shit all the fucking time. There's no such thing as equal. All right? And even if there was, which there isn't, men and women sure ain't it. We're not equal. Okay? So find happiness in the differences and the nuanced things that make you who you are. And stop trying to create bullshit like, oh, I'm different 'cause I'm gay. I'm gonna do this to my hair. You doing all this to look different and to strike out, but you're not putting that same energy forth to make your league appealing. That's just what it is. And I know a lot of y'all simp niggas out there listening are gonna be like, oh, whoa, I don't agree, brother. Listen to me, man. This shit it's not up to agree or not. It's fact. All right, it's the fact of the fucking matter.
Yesterday, let's take a listen.
I saw what Megan Rapinoe said. And she said it's unfortunate of his view, that's his view. And
well, no, Megan Rapinoe, his view, for the most part, echoes, or in your mind, should echo the view of most men. That's what your takeaway should have been. Not his view. It echoes the view of most men. So what does that tell you? And not for nothing, Draymond said, y'all complaining, and then what do? You go on Twitter and then start complaining about Draymond. So that's exactly what you're doing.
I think it's unfortunate that she thinks it's unfortunate that that's my view, because at the end of the day, what Megan wants and what I want is the same thing.
Exactly, but you know what? They can't see that. And that's part of their fucking problem. They're anti-men. So the fact that a man is even speaking up for them is, probably hurts her. Like I'm sure a lot of them felt some type of way. A lot of them. Because they hate men. They hate you, Draymond. They hate you. A lot of the women in the WNBA look at you, Draymond. No joke. No cap. They look at you and they're like, oh, Draymond's trash. I could do what he's doing. I'm better than him. He don't deserve that money. I should be getting paid that type of money. Guaranteed. 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 You could book that and sign that motherfucker. I'm telling you right now, there's WNBA players that look at Draymond Green and how much money he makes and says, I'm better than him. I could do that. I should be getting paid that, or yada, yada, yada. Guaranteed. And you know what? The answer to that is hell the fuck no. No, you can't. All right? There aren't even many men in the WNBA, in the NBA that can do what Draymond Green can do. All right? Like, we got to start putting some respect on Draymond's name. Don't get me wrong. He's a fucking a fool. He's a know nothing. But when it comes to his basketball abilities, he's definitely Hall of Fame caliber. Okay, he has Hall of Fame caliber qualities and attributes.
Can both do something to move the needle to get to the end goal. Great. I have no complaints with whatever it is that she wants to do, or any woman athlete wants to do, or anyone that's trying to help drive their cause and what they want to be done. It doesn't really matter to me how you get there. What does matter to me is that we get there. And so, I'm not going to sit here and condemn her comments back to me or what she's done. I'm in full support of what she's doing.
Yeah, nigga, because you a simp. Simply put. All right, hold on. Now I'm going to go to the metric. All right, so I'm going to end with this. I don't want that ad there. All right, so look, this is most popular sports in America 2021 updates. So obviously, number one, American football. Now, I'm showing you guys this list for a reason, okay? For a reason. Number one, American football. Now, let's just think. Have you ever been to a football game, or have you ever watched a football game on TV? It's almost a 50-50 split when it comes to people there, male or female, right? Many women crowd around TVs every Sunday and watch football, and many women go to the games and buy apparel and buy jerseys. Many women do that. Why? Well, let's think about the sport for a second. Football is probably one of the quote-unquote manliest sports we have, especially in this country. One of the manliest sports, where it's like male energy, male dominance being exerted all over the fucking place, right? Obviously, men like it because it's rough and it's fun and exhilarating. And women like it because they get to see men being men. So women like it. Women will watch the games by themselves, whether they're with a man or not. Next, baseball. Many women watch and support baseball as well. You ever been to a baseball game? Many women are out there. Women watch baseball. They love baseball. They get to see men all roided up. Some, swinging bats. They're attracted to that. They like that. Also, baseball, you can see the faces. You can see the men's physique. Oftentimes, I hear women say, oh, look at his butt. I like his butt. Basketball, same rules apply. You can see the face. You can see their physique. When you go to a basketball game, you look at the crowd. There's many women out there. Women loved Kobe. They loved MJ. They love Iverson. They love LeBron. They love them. They're outside the locker rooms every night waiting for them to come out. Okay? These are the big three in America. These are men's sports leagues. And they're number one because when you look at their demographics, obviously they have the men. They have the men that like the sport for all different reasons. And then in each and every single one of these, they have the women that like the sport. And all these sports are male-dominated, men being men. And basketball, they dunk on each other and freaking flex. And baseball, they smack home runs out the fucking park. Freaking 400 feet and then some, 300 plus feet and then some. And then they trot around the fucking bases. All right, this is all, athletic dominance, all right? Women are attracted to this. That is appealing to women. So you have a demographic, nice support in these sports of women. Very simple breakdown, right? Okay, moving on. Number 4, hockey. Obviously, yes, hockey is number 4. Obviously, we know who watches hockey and who doesn't watch hockey based off of, certain demographics and where you live in the United States. And that's fine. But again, that's men. Soccer. Now we got women here. Obviously, they're showing you women right here. And soccer is probably the biggest sport on the face of the earth. So we finally reached the women. Again, soccer is global. And on the soccer field, it's much more comparative than any other sport, male and female. Okay? So soccer would get more views than the WNBA because the games are played more similarly to how the men do it. Tennis. And I'm going to stop with tennis. Actually, I'll keep going so I can see the rest of the list, but I'm going to come back to tennis. Golf. And look. Soccer, women. Tennis, women. Golf, women. Wrestling, right in the front, women. Motorsports. And badminton. All right, so back to tennis. This is where I'm going to stop it. Tennis is the 6th most watched sport on TV, right? Now, do you ever hear women talking about how much money Serena Williams makes? Because we all know she's bringing in the dough, right? We all know. She's Nike sponsored and everything. She's got bread. She's got that cake, right? But you never hear women talk about it. And why? Look, now, remember a couple years ago when they were trying to market Serena Williams as being like the pinnacle of sexiness, and she's the sexiest woman on the planet and all that stuff. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. But they were pushing that shit, and obviously she did have a baby. She's married. She's heterosexual as far as we know. But you see how they were marketing her because she's heterosexual as being beautiful and girly and feminine and stuff like that, and how she markets herself. Even when she broke her fucking racket that one game and lost that game, she was still trying to talk to the judge in a very feminine way. You see how she was able to be marketed? And not for nothing, men that buy into that and say, yeah, I like her, she's attractive, they will watch and support because that's appealing to them. Now, if she was her stature and gay as hell, tatted all up, right, with some dreads, with some gold tip dreads, would she would have been able to have the same appeal? Huh? No. The answer is no. Hell the fuck no. Okay. So, but you never hear these women use Serena Williams at all in these conversations because they know it doesn't help them. Because they know they're full of shit. Serena Williams generates revenue. She makes more money. The WNBA generates no money. Nobody wants to see a bunch of lesbians running around, bumping chests with tattoos, flexing, missing layups, and airballing jump shots. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. If they lowered the rims to the point where they could dunk on a much more regular basis, I'm sure viewership will go up a little bit, at the very least, But are they open to that? No. I already did a video on that. So yeah, I just want to end with this. When you have that one friend or you see somebody getting beat the fuck up, think twice if you really want to go and help them, because they'll try to smite you next. All right, they'll try to bring your ass down, and not for nothing. Like I said, Draymond Green, whether they agree with what he said or not, did them a favor by speaking out. What she should have did, if she really felt that way, was to reach out to Draymond, and since Draymond's confederate with us, let's talk to him so that way he understands where we're actually coming from, which is some bullshit anyway. But that's probably why I didn't want to do it, because you don't got nothing substantive to fucking say at all. Because I'm literally just going right down this shit. And this ain't about hate speech to women or hate speech to the LGBTQ. It's just a reality. It's unappealing. Okay? They can try to push it and put it in front of the children all they want. Doesn't change the fact that it's unappealing. Okay? And that Serena Williams makes more money being heterosexual than she would if she was homosexual. But that is it on that. Until next time, y'all. Peace.